UFC 285. These are the full card predictions and the betting breakdown. Main event, Jon Jones comes back at heavyweight, fighting Ciryl Gane for the vacant championship. I'm so excited for this fight. It's a banger card. Make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Also note, fight companion for the entire UFC 285 card will be on the channel. Make sure you guys tune into that. And let's start it off. First fight of the night, Farid Basharat versus Blackshear. I'm going to pick Farid Basharat in this fight. He's definitely the better technical striker. The Basharat brothers in general are looking tremendous. His debut, now Farid's, against Blackshear, it's a matchup that I like for him. I look at Blackshear as a guy who's an athletic striker with some power, pretty decent straight shot, but he's going to get picked apart. You look at Blackshear's defense, he likes that high guard defense. Farid will dig to the body, punches and kicks. Don't doubt the ground skills of Basharat either. I'm going to call Farid Basharat for a knockout. I like it a little bit later in the fight. I expect body work. I expect a tired Blackshear in the third round. And I'm going to say KO TKO probably in that third round. Either way, knockout for Farid Basharat. He should beat Blackshear in this fight. And I think have a pretty solid performance. Skill set wise, it's definitely Basharat. Yes, Blackshear's a good athlete, but as a fighter, not at the same level. We're going Basharat for the win in his UFC debut. He's a massive favorite. Minus 410 Basharat. Blackshear at plus 380. I like the favorite. Yes, it's super wide, but I'm picking him confidently. Farid Basharat by knockout. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card. It's Jessica Penne versus Tabatha Ricci. I got to pick Tabatha Ricci here. It's a 40-year-old Jessica Penne versus a 28-year-old and constantly improving Tabatha Ricci. Great grappling skill sets on the side of Ricci. And you know what? On Penne's side, she's got good jiu-jitsu too. She's a very tall and long girl, but she's not a great striker from the outside, nor is she super physically strong. She's a tricky grappler, and if, she can get her opponents back like she did with Lupita Godinez, she can hold that position well. I don't see that happening here with Ricci. Definitely a speed advantage for Ricci. I think a physical strength edge and even a jiu-jitsu advantage. I think Ricci and her are going to fight, and you're going to see striking advantage Ricci on display. I think you're going to have Ricci backing up Jessica Penne towards the cage and even working takedowns of her own. I think Ricci's getting the hand raised. I'm going to say Tabatha Ricci by a unanimous decision. Her UFC debut, she fought a killer in Manon Farrow. She's going to be on a 3-fight win streak with this win over Jessica Penne. I think she's a girl with tremendous potential. Didn't love the last fight against Polyana Viana, but it was a weird matchup and a weird fight. I don't think a 40-year-old Jessica Penne pulls off the win here. As far as the odds, Penne underdog plus 200. Tabatha Ricci minus 225 is the favorite. I'm going Ricci to get the hand raise. I really expect her to be a lot quicker on the feet too. Clear advantages overall in my opinion. And you got to go the youth. Jessica Penne's 40. She lost the last fight against Emily Ducote, who kind of got, pretty handily beaten by Angela Hill after. Granted, Hill a tremendous striker. I think Tabatha Ricci can beat a Jessica Penne too. We're riding with her to get the win. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it. Mana Martinez versus Cameron Saaiman. I'm going to pick Cameron Saaiman to win. Mana Martinez, though, is actually not a bad fighter. He's a pretty damn tough striker, a guy who likes to sit and bang and scrap and be involved in entertaining fights. And Saaiman is a guy who brings good stand-up too. I like his well-rounded skill set better, and I also think he's more explosive, faster, and more accurate than Mana Martinez. I see openings as well when Mana Martinez is striking, less of that on the side of Saaiman. Granted, you look at the debut. It was against Steven Kozlov. He got a late knockout. Kozlov was a really tricky guy to debut against because he actually had some tricky jiu-jitsu. Mana Martinez on the other side, he's got some footing going for himself inside of the UFC. Gets a win over Guido Kennedy, which is held up well. That's a good split decision. Still real close. Ronnie Lawrence ran him over, and then Brandon Davis split decision. He's barely beating the back end guys. I think that Cameron Saaiman is a prospect with a lot of promise here. I think the stand-up is going to be on display. I like the Muay Thai skills. I think there's more power with Saaiman. Also note, Saaiman pretty comfortable out of that southpaw southpaw stance. I can even see him having the grappling advantage. I'm going to pick Cameron Saaiman. He's a finisher. You look at these fights, knockout, knockout, decision, knockout, submission. I think we're going to see another finish for Saaiman. I'm going KO win. I'm thinking second or third round knockout for Cameron Saaiman. I think he gets Mana Martinez out of there. I remember when Draco ran over Mana Martinez. I think Cameron Saaiman can get him out of there too. As far as the lines for this one, Leo Mana Martinez, dog, plus 215. Cameron Saaiman, minus 240, the favorite. I'm picking Saaiman to get the thing done in this one and keep that undefeated streak going. He's 8-0. He's a good prospect, and I think he's got a bright future. Let's keep running up the card. Next matchup on it, it's Ian Machado Garry versus Kenan Song. I'm picking Ian Machado Garry, but I do kind of find it a little bit interesting that he's taking his wife's last name. I guess it's a notable Brazilian last name, and it adds some savagery to him. I don't know, just not a common play, at least stateside, of taking the wife's last name. Now, as far as the matchup here between these two, Machado Garry, I think, has a pure technical striking advantage. He's the more skilled fighter. He also has the height and reach advantage. He's better with his straight punches. I see Kenan Song as a guy who can definitely strike and will be willing to engage. He'll definitely be looking for powerful right hands, but he's the stepping stone in this fight. He's willing to fight. He got laid out bad against Max Griffin in the last one. I think Ian Machado Garry is going to knock him out in this one too. I like the jab. I like the movement. I like the right high kick. The legs are real nasty for Garry. And I think he's developing pretty well. He picks his shots good, especially for a guy who's only 25. His patience in the cage is pretty damn impressive. I'm thinking he gets a knockout. Showcase fight. KO win. Ian Machado Garry over Kenan Song. As far as the betting odds for this one, Garry is minus 550. Kenan Song at plus 450. I like Ian Garry to win it. High confidence that he gets a knockout victory here. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it, it's Julian Marquez versus Marc-Andre Barriault. It's an interesting fight, but you gotta go Marquez. I don't know. He's more gritty than Marc-Andre Barriault. Barriault's got decent boxing skills. He's got some solid overhands and an all right jab. I don't know. He kind of got bullied out there by Anthony Hernandez. I know Julian Marquez just got ran over by Gregory Rodriguez, but he fought stupid trying to brawl with a power puncher in Rodriguez. He ends up getting flatlined. Good submission skills for Julian Marquez. Underrated wrestling. Granted, he's a guy that ends up getting taken down too. I like the size advantage he's going to have in this fight. He's an inch taller. I see this as a bit of a coin flip fight. I think Barriault is a little bit stiff. I think Marquez can catch him with flurries. It's going to be a tricky matchup. I think it's going to be a competitive fight that probably goes long here. I'm going to say Julian Marquez gets the hand raised on the decision. He's pretty hittable. Marc-Andre Barriault is a guy that sometimes comes out a little slow, and you can put a lot of pressure on him and back him up earlier. But I think Marquez, by a competitive decision, getting his hand raised, is going to be the official pick in this one. But I definitely don't love this pick right here. As far as the odds, around plus 105 for the side of Julian Marquez. Marc-Andre Barriault sitting at around minus 125. I like the underdog money of Marquez. I don't love the bet, at least not right now. But I do think he wins the fight. It's going to be a hard-fought decision win over Barriault. Similar skill sets, similar UFC level for both guys. But I think who digs deeper, I'd go with Julian Marquez. So that's why I'm picking him here. I think he can find it in himself to really put it hard on Barriault later and get the hand raised. Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. Ladies going after it. It's Viviane Araujo and Amanda Ribas. I hate that I'm picking against Amanda Ribas. I think Araujo is going to win. She's got the better hands. I definitely think she's the better boxer of the two. She's got good wrestling skills and takedown defense. Yes, Ribas has tremendous Brazilian jiu-jitsu and showed a really high level of skill set against Caitlin Schukagan. She now fights another strong girl at 125 pounds, one who I think, I said it already, boxing advantage. I think the hands of Araujo can win her the fight here. I don't think Ribas has an easy time getting this fight to the floor. I think Araujo is going to be very hard to control. Araujo actually has got some good wrestling and maybe could be willing to work some takedowns, but I expect more defensive wrestling on display for Araujo and using her boxing. Ribas has decent enough stand-up. She likes some straight punch flurries. She's got some quick kicks and some good dexterity, but I think Araujo Araujo lands with a lot more intent. Who's going to hit with the harder punch? I'm going to say Araujo. More significant strikes. Grappling stifles one another. And I'm picking Viviane Araujo to win this fight by a decision in what should be pretty interesting ladies matchup here. As far as the odds, it's plus 110 Araujo. Ribas sitting at around minus 120. I like the chance of Araujo getting her hand raised. It's not an easy out because Amanda Ribas is extraordinarily high level with her ground skills. And even as a fighter overall, she's also 29, Araujo 36. One thing I was looking, I'm like, damn, do I shift it towards Ribas just because of the age? I'm not going to do that. From what I see, I think Araujo has the boxing chops, the Muay Thai striking overall to outstrike Ribas, and I feel like she's going to be fending off takedown attempts. I'm going Viviane Araujo to get the win by a decision. Let's keep running up the card. Next matchup, it's Derek Brunson versus Dricus du Plessis. I'm so excited for these middleweights to throw down. Listen, you got to go Dricus du Plessis. He's the pick here. He's a guy who's proven tough as fuck. There's no breaking him. Even when he looks like he's out of gas, he somehow finds a reserve of fuel to keep on bringing the heat. He's very physically strong. He's a powerful guy, kind of awkward and unique striking style, but definitely hits with some serious pop. You look at Derek Brunson. There's quit in Brunson. There's a little bit of a question mark around how he's going to look when things start not going his way. When shit starts going against him, kind of folds. Depends on the matchup, this matchup especially, because du Plessis is so physically strong, he's going to be able to fend off the Brunson takedown attempts. He might even be able to take Brunson down and shock a lot of people. They both have fights with wins over Darren Till. Brunson, he landed takedowns there. He got touched up on the feet a bit. Du Plessis got touched up on the feet a bit. But I feel like du Plessis looked like the more menacing force. He can impose his will a bit more. And I definitely don't see him breaking. So I got to go with the side of Dricus du Plessis, who I think is a physical specimen. He's a fighter on the rise. He's willing to engage. And we know Brunson sometimes is willing to bang a bit too. And he gets caught and put down and knocked out. He's a very strong wrestler. He's a southpaw. Du Plessis very comfortable out of both stances. Nasty kicks with du Plessis as well, to the legs, to the body. And I think big punches will land too. I think du Plessis getting Brunson out of there in the second round. We're riding with Dricus, and I think he's got a very bright future at 185 pounds. And at this point, I think the mystical blonde Brunson has lost his power. He's diminished a bit. As far as the odds, it's plus 200 for Brunson, minus 205 for Dricus du Plessis. I'm going Dricus to get the KO win. I think he can pull this thing out. I'm riding with him. Knockout. He'll break Derek Brunson, get a stoppage, and he's moving on up these middleweight ranks, and he's a real prospect to watch. 18-2 record is tremendous as well. Did great work outside of the UFC, and he's here now, and he's right towards the top, and I think he'll be in a good position after this weekend. Let's get to the next one, which is the featured prelim of the night. Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones. Guys, I got to pick Trevin Jones. I can't pick Cody Garbrandt at this point. It seems like the chin has left him. He definitely doesn't look as powerful or quick as he has in the past. Rob Font jabbed his face off. People are going to say, oh, but it's Trevin Jones. This is the Trevin Jones who slept Timur Valiev. Even though the fight gets overturned, it's a no contest. That's still a knockout win. He catches Mario Batista, knocks him out. Stylistic matchup, I think, is one where Jones can shine. Garbrandt, when he's at his best, he can bring great aggressiveness and find beautiful punches. Trevin Jones is a pretty good counter striker with a solid overhand punch. He's also very athletic. And I just worry that Cody Garbrandt's best days are behind him. It's hard for me to want to say I'm backing Cody No Love. That's why I'm not. The chin is a huge question mark. He just got killed at 125 after forcing his body to lose size and shrink down to that weight class. And now you jump up and you're fighting Trevin Jones, who has nothing to lose. Also a southpaw with decent enough wrestling. I think Trevin Jones can find the money shot and sleep Garbrandt. It's like not so much of a confidence in Trevin Jones. It's a lack thereof confidence in Cody Garbrandt. I got to go Trevin Jones. I don't like what I've seen from Cody lately. You can say, oh, but he knocked out, we'll pull up the name right here. He knocked out Rafael Assunção. It was a tremendous KO. It was one of those KOs that you see once in a lifetime. He literally powered up his punch like as if he was using a Fight Night round 4 haymaker and landed a beautiful shot. I don't think that works here with Trevin Jones. Trevin Jones has shown power, And I think he's going to show it in this one. I'm going Trevin Jones for KO win, and he's going to fuck things up. And it's unfortunate for Cody No Love. Cody's minus 165. Jones sitting at around plus 145. I like Trevin Jones to pull off the upset. I'm going to say he gets the KO win. Cody's chin is gone. He gets caught with a big shot and he crumbles. Trevin Jones, huge win, biggest win of his career. And this sends Cody Garbrandt in a bad spot. Maybe sends him packing. Let's jump to the main card. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe. It's Jamie Pickett versus Bo Nickal. I'm picking Bo Nickal with tremendous confidence. I think he's going to land takedowns whenever he wants. I think on the feet he could hurt Jamie Pickett as well. Bo Nickal is nasty everywhere. He seems like a future ranked contender. Freak athlete, amazing wrestling background, shows real power. The Donovan Beard fight, he manhandled Donovan Beard. I think Donovan Beard is a slightly lesser version of Jamie Pickett. Similar physicality between the two. Their statures, their reach, even their styles. Jamie Pickett, rangy kickboxing, struggles when guys bring pressure. That's all you get when you fight Bo Nickal is constant pressure. I think you're going to see Bo Nickal close the gap, bully Jamie Pickett. He might drop him with a punch and then strangle him. He might lock up a triangle, an armbar. He's got nasty submissions. I really feel like Bo Nickal looks to be the prospect to keep an eye on. And I know everybody's saying that. It's not just me. I'm going Bo Nickal first round sub. I don't think that Jamie Pickett has the power to keep Nickal off of him. And I don't think he has the takedown defense to stay on his feet. I think he's going to get ripped apart by pressure. Pressure fighters break him, and you're going to get that here. He has a submission loss recently to Kyle Dawkins. He's got a bad loss to Dennis Tulilin. Nothing tells me he has a chance against Bo Nickal. It's not going to be close. It's going to be the Bo show. As far as the odds, they're crazy wide as expected. Minus 1,400, Bo Nickal. Plus 1,000, Jamie Pickett. Bo Nickal is a disgustingly wide favorite in this one. But, like, can I really argue with that line at all? Can we say anything bad about it? Who the hell is picking Jamie Pickett out there? If you are, let me know in the comments because you're crazy. It's not going to happen. It's going to be the Bo show. Dominant performance. Bo Nickal, win by submission. Beats Jamie Pickett. And we, slowly build him up the ranks. Don't have to rush him to the top just yet. But the future's bright for Bo. And he gets a freaking main card appearance for the UFC debut. It's insane. Let's jump to the next fight. It's Mateusz Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. Mateusz Gamrot stepping in on very short notice for Dan Hooker. I have to pick Mateusz Gamrot for a couple of reasons. First reason, look at the Matt Frivola fight with Jalen Turner, and don't tell me you don't have concerns after that, because Gamrot is a better wrestler for certain than a Matt Frivola, and I see Gamrot's wrestling being a huge factor in him winning this fight. You also are looking at Jalen Turner, who was preparing to fight Dan Hooker, a striker. Definitely a lesser opponent than Gamrot. The one side that you could talk about, hey, but Jalen Turner has this in his favor. He's a lot taller. And I guess you also got to mention the short notice for Gamrot. I'll expect Gamrot to be in tremendous shape. He fought 3 months ago as against Beneil Dariush. Yes, he jumps in on short notice for this opportunity here. I believe this is a guy that stays in shape and is training his ass off year round because he knows big opportunities are on the horizon. And Jalen Turner is that huge chance. You take this fight on short notice and you steal Turner's momentum. I know Turner's looked so good lately, and I like Jalen Turner a lot. He's a dangerous striker. He's freakishly tall, but he's going to be on his back for the majority of this fight. Now, as far as his wins, yes, that Brad Riddell win, it's awesome, but it's Brad Riddell. It's not Mateusz Gamrot. Jamie Mullarkey win, awesome. It's Jamie Mullarkey. Uros Madik win, it's Uros Madik. You see what I'm saying? Brock Weaver, come on, man. Josh Kula Bayout. Like, those are, legit wins in MMA and in the UFC. But they don't compare. Mateusz Gamrot lost by decision to Beneil Dariush, who's right at the top fighting Oliveira. Arman Sarukian, come on, he beat him. Whether controversial or not, he had a competitive 5-round fight with Arman Sarukian, who everybody talks about as the kryptonite for Islam Makhachev. Dominates Diego Ferreira, murdered him. Jeremy Stevens win, and then he also gets Scott Holtzman. Mateusz Gamrot, I think, is going to out-wrestle Jalen Turner, work him over, and win the fight, man. I got to ride with Mateusz. I'm going Gamrot to win. Method of victory is tricky. I wrote down maybe sub. I think there's a chance of submission here for Mateusz Gamrot. So we'll go with sub, but a little bit iffy on the method of victory. Be cautious if you're looking to prop bet that one up, because I definitely could see it going the distance. Mateusz Gamrot for the win. As far as the lines, even though he took it on short notice, he's the favorite, minus 170. Jalen Turner sitting at around plus 150. I like Mateusz Gamrot's chances of out-wrestling him and getting his hand raised. Win, Mateusz Gamrot over Jalen Turner. Balls for stepping up. Real balls. Let's get to the featured bout of the night. It's Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. The pick is Shavkat. You guys already knew that. He's tremendous. But something that I've been thinking about is Jeff Neal might be the most durable guy he's ever faced off with. A guy who's hard to keep down. Definitely hard to even just take down. But to keep down, Jeff Neal's not going to be easy to bully in there. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov definitely has an advantage with the clinch, with the takedowns, the striking from distance. But Jeff Neal has the explosiveness edge. He's actually got some dangerous boxing. His kickboxing's phenomenal. High kick of Mike Perry. Southpaw stance for Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's a really good fighter. It's just he's being thrown someone who I think might be the future of the sport. A menace on the floor, a menace in the stand-up. There's not much Shavkat Rakhmonov can't do. On the side of Jeff Neal, he's got some crispy boxing and power, and I could see him landing strikes against Shavkat. But look at the height difference, 6'1", 5'11". I guess the reach is not much. The leg length difference, I definitely think favors Shavkat a lot. I expect Shavkat to go grappling heavy, though. Why take the risk with a guy with the power of Neal and the explosiveness? I'm going to say Shavkat Rakhmonov wins. I'm going to say decision. Jeff Neal's a very durable guy. Hasn't been finished in the UFC. Win over Bilal Muhammad that I think people forget about. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov gets his first fight going the distance here, and he wins by a unanimous decision. I'm picking Shavkat, but I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I don't think Neal gets completely ran out of the fucking cage quickly. I think he goes the full. I think even 30-27, but he's still alive at the end of it. He didn't get absolutely annihilated. As far as the odds, Shavkat is minus 500, disgustingly wide, plus 400 for Jeff Neal. I like Shavkat Rakhmonov to win this thing. He's got so much potential. The momentum's on his side. I mean, he just beat Neil Magny. Neil Magny does have a win over Jeff Neal where he clinched the fuck out of him. If Neal can do that, what is Shavkat going to do? He's going to throw him around and I think land takedowns. Granted, I feel like Neal is better than he fought against Magny. Still, I'm going Shavkat Rakhmonov. I just feel like I have to go decision. I think Neal's extremely hard to get out of there. If there was a finish, though, I'm going to say it'd be Shavkat to win by submission. Pick is Shavkat Rakhmonov, and the lines are crazy wide. Co-main event of the evening, Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. I got to pick Valentina Shevchenko, but I think it's going to be a difficult fight. Grasso's got some tremendous boxing skills. She's nasty quick. She's got really good scrambles. Shevchenko's kicks are off the fucking charts. She's got good pressure. She kind of had a way too close for comfort fight against Talia Santos where I can see the argument to the side, oh, she should have lost that fight. I want to see that rematch soon. We got Alexa Grasso coming in as a challenger, and it's somebody that I think Shevchenko can still beat. I know Shevchenko at 34, nearly 35. She's in one of those tricky spots where I feel as though there's a chance we're watching the very end of the greatness from Valentina Shevchenko. I just don't feel the girl to dethrone her is going to be Alexa Grasso. But I will say I think Grasso gives a gutsy performance and goes the full 5 rounds. I'll pick Valentina Shevchenko to win a unanimous decision. She'll outstrike Alexa Grasso, especially with the kicks. She has that explosiveness edge, though Grasso's got nasty boxing. In the clinch, Shevchenko will have a strength edge. She'll land a couple trips. She'll get on top. It won't be an easy fight, but it will be one that Valentina Shevchenko wins and still champion of the world. We're riding with her, but I think Alexa Grasso's a great challenger. She's got a nice 4-fight win streak. Things are coming together beautifully for her. I just think Shevchenko's going to be too much. As far as the lines, they're so bad. They're so bad. Minus 550 Shevchenko. Grasso plus 480. It's hideous. It's a hideous line. Valentina Shevchenko is a long-reigning, dominant champion. It makes a lot of sense. And Alexa Grasso, as good as she is, I still got question marks about how she'll do with the level of Shevchenko. I mean, you look at the win. Viviane Araujo, that's a good win. But that's no fucking Shevchenko. Joanne Wood now, good win. Macy Barber, Jin Yoon Kim. And then you see that Esparza loss. I mean, stylistic difference in the matchups. But I think Shevchenko could get a hold of her in the clinch and get her to the floor. So I'm going Valentina Shevchenko to defend the belt and keep this reign of greatness going. Maybe an Erin Blanchfield fight on the horizon. Maybe a Talia Santos rematch. Either way, I'll definitely be tuned in. She's got to get past Grasso here. I expect she will. Let's keep running up. The main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane for the vacant heavyweight championship. I am picking Jon Jones. Greatness, really at the highest of levels, is on the line here. Because Jon Jones already, to me, is the greatest fighter of all time. You can say about the drug testing and whatnot, but you saw this changing their stance on Jon Jones' previous test, right? They're saying that what he was positive for previously wouldn't be considered a fail today. So essentially, you got to give him the, clean slate. I think Jon Jones is going to win the fight regardless. Fuck the drug testing. Forget about that. When you look at the matchup, Ciryl Gane is a tremendous kickboxer. Some of the best movement, I would say the best movement we've ever seen in MMA at heavyweight. He's super light on his feet. He moves like he's 185 pounds. His striking from range is phenomenal. He stance switches incredibly well. Beautiful kicks to the legs, to the body. Jon Jones has tremendous kicks too. Even when you look at that Dominic Reyes fight, as close as it was for Jon Jones, Jon brought some decent heat with his hands. Bungamin Ciryl Gane is not going to have the same boxing style, head movement of a Dominic Reyes. And I also will tell you this. Jon Jones is more motivated now than ever. He's been waiting 3 years to get back in the cage and challenge for a heavyweight belt. I think he's really changed his body. He's working with Stan Efferding, who's like a hardcore strength / bodybuilding coach to create, absolute specimen athletes. And Jon Jones works with him full time. He's on his diet. He follows the programs. Jon Jones power lifts. He's a very strong guy. I think Jon Jones needs that strength. At heavyweight, I think Jones closes the gap well with his newfound strength because he's bulked up now. This is not 205 skinny bones Jones. This is thick boy Jones. This is Jon Jones coming in probably towards 240. Could be 250. I can't wait for the weigh-ins because we're going to see Jon Jones step on the scale as a heavyweight, maybe with a little spare tire. That might be an advantage to him. In the wrestling, having that extra weight, he will take Ciryl Gane to the floor. When he gets on top, he'll be very dangerous from the top position. I don't think Jon Jones is coming into this heavyweight fight with the mindset of, I have to beat Ciryl Gane in striking. Does he compete in the stand-up? I think people will be surprised at Jon Jones striking. And Jon Jones himself has said now he's got this heavyweight frame, he's got some heavyweight power in the hands. Not saying he's knocking out Ciryl Gane. I think it's still a competitive fight. It's an extremely tricky matchup when you're predicting it, thinking to bet, and this is going to be the highest level of heavyweight MMA I think we've probably ever seen in the cage. I'm picking Jon Jones to win. I'm going to say he gets a unanimous decision. He's able to secure takedowns. He's able to do some damage. Ciryl Gane's competitive at moments, especially in the stand-up, but Jon Jones puts the hammer in the coffin of the argument that he's not the greatest of all time. He becomes a two-weight world champion, gets himself the heavyweight belt, defeats a great fighter in Ciryl Gane, who I think will be back and maybe challenging Jon Jones again in the future because Ciryl Gane is tremendous. I just think right now it's Jon Jones' time. I think he's going to come back with a mean vengeance. He looks in great shape. I've been looking through the Instagram, him putting in the work. This is motivated Jon Jones coming to fight with a purpose. That is terrifying. When Jon Jones was in his prime, running through everybody, he was a fucking motivated monster. And then the lapses started to happen. And it was Jon Jones partying, not committed to the MMA lifestyle. Now we get him 100% committed. Shit's about to go down. And Ciryl Gane, unfortunately, one of my favorite fighters is Ciryl Gane as well, as is Jon Jones. And they got to face off. Someone's got to lose. I think Gane is going to be the one to lose. I'm going Jon Jones to win. I'll say decision. Would it blow my mind if Jon Jones unloaded some hellish ground and pound? It would not. There's a chance he gets a stoppage too. Maybe even a submission. Inside the distance is possible here. But I don't know. I just feel like safer side Jon Jones. Been out a while. I see him landing the takedowns. He'll get on top. He'll control Gane. But there's a chance he gets sub. I think we'll look at those weigh-ins, and then we'll really have an idea of, okay, am I going finish or am I going decision? Right now, though, I am sticking with my guns. I'm going unanimous decision for Jon Jones in a competitive, hard-fought fight for the heavyweight belt he becomes the champion. Tremendous moment for MMA. As far as the odds, -150 for Jon Jones. Ciryl Gane sitting at +140. I'm going Jon Jones to win this fight. Crazy ass main event. Sweet card with UFC 285. I got a shitload of content I'm going to be dropping all week. It's going to be a bananas week. I'm literally so stoked. Guys, make sure you smash the hell out of the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the picks in the comments, and definitely let me know your main event pick. If you have nothing to say in the chat, but you want to support me, drop a W in there to boost that algorithm. Much love. Thank you to everybody watching. I hope you enjoyed another breakdown. Like I said, plenty of content coming all week, and that live stream fight companion on Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.